What is up, Nerd Nation? It is your boy Hunter here from Film Nerd TV, and we are back with the Nerd List, episode 13, and this is the best Gravity Falls episodes. And I am not alone because that would be physically impossible. I'm joined by a great panel, starting off with Caleb Boatman. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's good. Fun fact. Up to about a week ago, I had only seen the first season of Gravity Falls, and Hunter was like, "Do you want to be on the show?" And I was like, "Nah," and he was like, "Well, please," and I was like, "Fine, I'll binge watch season 2." And I have a lot of thoughts, and we'll talk about that.
All right. And for the record, I did not beg. I just suggested.
And you did bribe me. You did bribe.
And of course, we have the Cobra, but he will be the Titan around here. Chance Ellison, how's it going, man?
Hi, going good. Happy to be here talking Gravity Falls.
Yeah. All right, guys. So if you guys don't know how the Nerd List works, it works like this. We will nominate up to 10 episodes. Majority rules. So if 2 of us say yes, it goes on the list, obviously. Then after we have our 10, we knock it down to 7, and then we rank them from 7 to 1. Very simple. All right, so let's start off with Chance with his first nomination.
Okay, so Gravity Falls is a good one to talk about because there are no bad episodes of this show.
No.
I love this show. My first nomination ever is going to go to Not What He Seems. And this is an episode in which, the Pines twins, they are questioning everything they thought they knew about Grunkle Stan, whether he really is who he says he is, what's he hiding down in the basement. It's a really good episode, all about trust, all about faith, and how much faith can you really have in someone who you don't really, when you get down to brass tacks, you don't really know that much about. So it was a very pivotal episode for the show. It's one the fans love a lot. So yeah, I think definitely belongs in the upper echelon of Gravity Falls episodes.
All right, let's go to Caleb. Yes or no for Not What He Seems?
You picked my number 11.
Seriously?
You
11.
did that. You picked my 11.
Wow.
So now I got to make a decision here. Do I risk it and say no, but risk then that not making it on over some, that maybe shouldn't make it on in my opinion? Or do I say yes, but then risk like my number 10 not just having room for it?
If that's not your top 10, there's a problem. There's a problem with you.
I think, look, here's as far as why this episode doesn't rank a little bit higher, I think it's a good kind of mystery episode. The problem is the mystery basically solved the next episode, all the questions, and I think that episode really fleshes everything out, and I think in comparison, this episode itself is like, it's good. It's good. I think it's just not like super duper like, in this scheme of Gravity Falls, it's like, it's an amazing episode, but there are like ultra amazing episodes.
So is that a yes or a no?
That's a yes. Sorry. Yes. It is a yes, but it's a very, very slight reluctant yes.
All right, so Not What He Seems makes it on the list. And actually opposite of that, Chance picked my number 1 episode. I absolutely love this episode. This is just because I love the fact that they plant that question in your head of what is the alternate scheme? Like, is Grunkle Stan really as evil as he seems to be? Because you've grown with this character, and the fact that they plant that in your mind and then have the Pines twins be divided. One wants to believe him in Mabel, and the other one is always skeptical. He wants to believe what logic says, but Mabel's going with her heart. I love that dynamic, which also leads into the next episode with A Tale of Two Stands. So yes, it would have been yes for me also. All right, going on to Caleb for the second nomination.
And you just name dropped my nomination. It is A Tale of Two Stands. This is my favorite episode. This is my number 1. I think it's a fantastic episode. I love just hearing the simplistic backstory between Grunkle Stan and Stanford, voiced by the wonderful J.K. Simmons. And I think that just hearing kind of just hearing Grunkle Stan's backstory itself is just really great. But then just having all these questions answered is fantastic. And just getting the emotional dynamic between the two brothers. So I think it definitely gets a yes from me.
All right. Going on to me, I'm going to give it a yes because I also feel like this is a great comparison to Not What He Seems. And as Caleb said, you get to learn more about Grunkle Stan and Stanford growing up. But what I also love is how it kind of parallels to Dipper and Mabel's situation, where they don't want to drift apart and they don't want to like end up like them. And Grunkle Stan has this great line at the end where he's like, "Stay away from the kids because, as far as I'm concerned, they're the only family I have left." And that line right there, while Mabel and Dipper are listening to it, is such a great moment, great scene. So it's a yes for me. So Chance, A Tale of Two Stands makes it. What would you have said?
Oh, it would have been absolutely yes for me. I think A Tale of Two Stands is a fantastic episode. It really it makes you understand the complex relationship of these two brothers within like a 30-minute time span, which is that's in itself is awesome. I think, like you said, a lot of the parallel between them and Dipper and Mabel are really interesting, really thought provoking, and it's interesting to see how a guy like Stan got to where he is. Not to mention the episode, it has a lot of my favorite like jokes in his Any Falls episode. One of my favorite ones is like the cloth. Like, it does not give you rashes. I repeat, it does not. It gives you rashes.
Such a great line. All right, so on to me. We have two great ones already. So I'm gonna try to get this one on the list. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Geez.
But I'm nominating Summer Ween.
Ooh, okay.
Now the reason is because Gravity Falls is also, it's kind of a darker mystery set, kind of horror animation, but the fact that it's set over a summer, they can't really do a Halloween episode. So they say about having, we have two Halloweens. We have the regular Halloween and then we have Summerween. And just all the great tropes of Halloween specials are there. Instead of the jack-o'-lanterns, you have the watermelon lanterns, which is
jack-o'-melons, yeah.
Yeah, jack-o'-melons, which is completely hilarious. I love the backstory of the creature. I'm gonna forget his name.
The Trickster.
Yeah, the Trickster. Thank you, Chance. I love the backstory of him being like the used candies that nobody eats and they just like throw away because it's not the name brand candies. I love how it's just set in a great Halloween special with a great kind of darker episode with a lot of great funny lines, a lot of great Halloween spirit. So I'm putting Summerween on the list. Chance.
Well, I wasn't going to reveal the origin of the Trickster, but yeah, spoiler. The reveal of what the Trickster actually is, it's hilarious. And
if you haven't seen that episode yet, then I don't know what to tell you.
But either way, Summerwing gets a yes from me. I think, like, you're right, because the world of Gravity Falls was like tailor made for a Halloween episode, but it takes place during the summer, so it wasn't possible. So they did the next best thing, and honestly, I think this is better than any Halloween episode they could have conceived, just because, just like the jokes, the situational humor, every comedic possibility you can think of, they take advantage of it. It's great. I love the episode. It definitely gets a yes from me.
All right, so Summerween makes the list. Caleb, what would you have said?
This is a really good episode. I don't think it should make the top 10. I mean, it did, so I can't complain now. But it did. I wouldn't put it like in top 10 of all time. I still do think it's a really fun, kind of inconsequential episode. But the reveal of the Trickster is hilarious because it's so kind of true. Is that there are those candies like the circus peanuts and all like the nobody likes Tootsie Rolls or candy corn or whatever.
Black licorice.
Yeah, the black
licorice.
Like, that is, when you're a kid, that's kind of, there are those unspoken candies that it's just like, they keep showing up, but nobody actually likes them. Nobody likes her, and I think that's the type of clever idea that Gravity Falls always comes up with, and I think it's really represented. So I'm okay with it being on the list. I just don't think it's top 10 of all time material.
All right, back to Chance. What episode are you bringing on the list?
This is a tough one. There's so many episodes I could bring. There's so many episodes I can bring up. I'm gonna go with one of my personal favorites, and I'm gonna go with Boys Crazy. Boys Crazy is the one where Mabel brings up session with a band called Several Times
With a Z.
and like they take the opportunity to just like parody like girl culture around boy bands, how they all seem like manufactured in a lab because they are in fact manufactured in a lab
In this episode.
I mean, you clearly see like some like 98 Degrees instinct, but you can also they're taking a jab at Disney himself. Like you can clearly see some like Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that they got Lance Bass to do the voice of the band. That shows they
all
have.
of them?
No, he didn't do all of them. He didn't do all of them.
He did.
He didn't. No, he didn't. He did not do all of them. That's a common misconception. But the fact that they got Lance Bass to do a voice of most, if not all of them, it's a really funny thing to do. So my dogs agree. So yeah, I think Boys Crazy should make the list.
All right, let's go on to Caleb. Boys Crazy.
Ooh, you're putting me in a tough spot here, Chance. Because this is a really creative idea and it's a really good commentary. I think sometimes these Mabel-centric episodes can sometimes get a little bit out of hand where they just feel a little too light. They don't feel as heavy. But you know what? No, I'm giving it a yes. I talked myself out of it. It's getting a yes. I feel bad because there are a couple ones that I've got to now basically say goodbye to, but I'll give it a yes. This is your last free one though. The rest, I've got to be harsher.
Yes, because I would have said yes. Also, this is just
so it didn't even matter.
Nope, because it was as you said, such a creative idea to poke fun, and not only just the big boy band craze, but as Chance said, Disney itself making fun of like the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, things like that. And I love how it poked fun at it without going way too far and kind of being mean-spirited about it. They still had fun. They still made it very creative, very fun, very entertaining, and just that's what I want in Gravity Falls. Like, I love the story, but I also love episodes that are just kind of fun. All right, going on to Caleb.
Okay, well, you want an episode that's fun. I'm picking what I consider to be the funniest episode of the series.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going with Seuss and the Real Girl. Seuss and the Real Girl. This episode. Yeah. This is a laugh a second episode right here. So many great little. I love Seuss. Seuss is a great character, and I think
you turned me off.
What?
You turned me off.
Actually, it's you paused me.
You paused me.
You paused me. Yeah.
You paused me. I think there's a lot of really funny stuff. Seuss's Abuelita is great. She's like, I'm going to go read Seuss's diary. And just a lot of like this episode makes me laugh a lot. Giffany is a really funny villain. And yeah, Melody, Seuss's eventual love interest in the episode is great. So yeah, I think it definitely gets a yes.
All right, Chance.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. It definitely gets a yes. I think in addition to being really fun, I think it's also like makes you think about because like internet culture is really popular right now. Like the time people spend online is actually a really big like hot button issue, and they navigate that like commentate on it, like again without being too mean spirited, but they do make you think about it to the point where it's a very enjoyable episode. I think Giffany is, in terms of like Gravity Falls villain, she's one of the most underrated. I think.
Yeah.
She is a really intimidating presence, despite the fact that she's literally just a video game, like an AI come to life. But yeah, this is definitely yes for me. It makes the list.
Yeah, I would have said yes also. And just for everything you all said, it's so funny, so entertaining, but also has a message behind it about spending too much time online. And really having that human connection is what is most important. And so, yeah, I would have given it a yes. All right, on to me. My God, there are so many good ones here. All right, I'm going to go with one that really shows that the Pines twins can be selfish, and it really deals with that in a great way. And that is, see if I find the episode title. It's called The Time Traveler's Pig. So that's the one where we meet
Blandon,
voiced by Justin Rowland.
Right.
We meet, what's the pig? Why am I forgetting the pig's name?
Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle.
You sure you watched this show?
I do.
Fake fan.
I'm
Fake
fucking
fan.
tired though. But yeah, I love this episode because it really divides the twins at a point. Because, Dipper really wants to get with Wendy, and he sees his opportunity to, and when he finally gets it, like, everything goes wrong with Mabel. Like, she loses the pig to Pacifica, which is the worst person to lose your pig to. And you can tell how much she really does care about it. And the fact that at one point, Dipper was just going to let it happen was like, oh, like, he's really just going to let her just forget about it. And then he does the time thing, just sees like a month later, she's still there. She's still broken up about it. And that's when he decides to make the change, which is actually a really funny line because it's like, oh, 1 day later, he'll be over it. Nope. 1 week later, 1 month, she's still there. And like nobody is doing anything. That one pole hasn't been moved at all. But this episode, it divided the twins, but also brought them back together and made them stronger because Dipper gave up what he wanted to make his sister happy. And I think that's a really good message. So I'm putting the Time Traveler's Pig up. Caleb?
This gets a definite for me. I think it understands the 3 most important elements of a Gravity Falls episode. You've got the comedy, obviously, in there. I think the kind of Groundhog Day-esque thing of doing the same thing over and over again. And one of my favorite gags in the episode where it's that farmer carnival guy is like, "Can you guess the weight of old 8-poundy here?"
15 pounder.
8 pounds. What are you, a witch?
15 pounds.
And then he goes to get a mob.
And then he goes to get the mob to burn the
He comes back. Yes, I am a witch. Burner.
Like, that's a really funny gag. Then it has what you were talking about, Hunter, the kind of heart in there of Dipper kind of realizing that he was being a little bit selfish and, sacrificing his chance with Wendy for Mabel and Waddles. And then you've got the third most important element, which is the story and the mystery. And I think the elements that are set up in this episode are so important, even if we didn't know. Like, first of all, you see Blandon, who comes back into play later. But more importantly, you see the first appearance of the real Stanford Pines in that little montage when they're time traveling there. And I remember back in the day. What?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and I remember back in the day where there were all these fan theories of, who is that guy? Is that just Stan? But earlier, is that, Dipper, but much later in the future?
Yeah.
Who is that guy? And now we finally know, but I think that was just a really clever setup. It shows that Alex Hirsch really knew what he was doing with the show, even back then, like the 7th episode. So yeah, definite yes.
All right, so the Time Traveler's Pig makes it on the list. Chance, what would you have said?
I would have said no.
Oh, wow.
I think there are, look, this is a really good episode, but I think everything this episode tackles is tackled better in other episodes. Like, there are better episodes that show the diametric opposition of Dipper and Mabel. There are better episodes that involve Waddles. There are better episodes that involve time travel. Like, literally, just about everything. This show is a great precursor to better episodes we get down the line. So based on that logic, I would have said no to this.
Yeah, I mean, completely understand. All right, back to you, Chance.
So it's back to me. Ooh, this There are a lot of different ones. I actually, it's funny. I left my speech type on, so that whole thing, that whole diatribe I just went on, is actually on my notes now. So that's nice. Uh, there are my dogs are very curious what I'm going to say next, but there are a lot of them that I could put on next. I think I'm gonna try and go for an anthology episode. I think that one of the most underrated types of episodes on this show are the anthologies. The one I'm going for is Little Gift Shop of Horrors. And this is a collection of, I believe, 3 different stories, which 3 different artifacts that were involved in the Pine Kid's life. And I honestly, it feels like these episodes feel like they had like ideas for stories, but didn't know how to make it work in a full episode format. So they relegated it to these, shorter segments. And the segments themselves are hilarious. There's a whole segment about how Mabel's scared of claymation. There's a whole segment about how how Waddle becomes intelligent, and the Waddle becomes a voice box, and he's voiced by Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I think is awesome. These episodes like that, I think they deserve more shine because, like, granted, they're not a lot really story based, but they are really good. They're really stylized, and they all have a really good like feel to them. They're all really well written stories. So I think Little Gift Shop of Horror should be up on. It should make a top 10. Look at something a little different on there.
All right, Caleb.
I'm gonna say no under the premise that I think this isn't the best anthology episode. I think Bottomless Pit is the better anthology episode. I think that one, to me, that's the best of the anthologies. I think this is good. I think the hand witch part gets a little bit just too okay, we get the joke. Yeah, it's still a solid episode, but I think that Bottomless Pit did this better. So yeah, I gotta give it a no.
All right, on to me. Yeah, I'm going to have to give this a no. Also on the preference that we only have 4 slots left, and I feel like there's a lot of story-based episodes that need to make it on. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a pass.
I'm gonna say no to your next episodes, whatever they are. I don't care what they are.
All right, going on to Caleb.
Yeah, I'm going with what I think is one of the most visually creative episodes, and it also introduced one of the show's best characters. I'm going with Dreamscapers. I think all the visual, like the animation in this show is always great. I think, but particularly, it's really good in this one. I think meeting Bill for the first time, it really works. And yeah, just going into Stan's mind, seeing all these things, Dipper kind of going through, like realizing that, why is Stan kind of picking on me? And it's kind of because Stan, wants him to be stronger. And, I think there's some really good dynamics in this episode. And you get I can't remember the names, but those 2 80s guys with the blue and blonde hair that show up. That's the first appearance of them. And I think this is just a really fun, creative episode. So yeah, this is my nomination.
All right, Chance. What do you say?
Damn, I really want to say no, but this is a good one. Yeah, I love the introduction of Bill. The fact that your most intimidating villain is a triangle with one eye.
Yeah,
is really something. So yeah, plus they take a lot of advantage too with the whole going to the mind and dream stuff. So yes, it does get a yes from me.
All right, so Dreamscapers makes the list. I probably would have given it a slight yes also, just because it did give us a great villain in Bill Cipher, and the demon they used as the villain in this episode was actually really good. And as you said, the dynamic of Dipper and Grunkle Stan, with Dipper having to kind of learn why Stan acts that way towards him, was a really cool growth moment. So yeah, slight yes on that one. So we have 7 on the list so far. Damn, this list is going by fast. All right, so back to me, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm literally stuck between 2. One of you guys are going to bring that one up. So, you know what? I'm going to go with Northwest Mansion Mysteries. And the reason is because Pacifica Northwest is that character that the show tells you you're not supposed to like. You know, she's stuck up, she's mean, she's the typical one-dimensional like bad girl. But this episode really shows a lot of development in her character, why she's like that, her family, the way they treat her. The fucking bell was so hard at points because you tell that she was just kind of like shut down whenever the bell would ring. Plus, it has a great mystery with the ghost and the family hauntings, and Dipper and Pacifica have great interactions together. So I'm bringing up that one. Chance?
Yeah, this gets in. I think well, like you said, by the show's own admission, Pacific Northwest, there's not much to her. But this one really gives her a chance to shine. It shows that she is really more than her family name. I think the inclusion of, I can't remember this the first time we heard him, probably not, but I really like Nathan Fillion as her dad. I think he's both funny and both like a really like threatening presence at the same time. I think just the whole concept of again, like Gravity Falls doing like a Ghostbusters like haunted house kind of thing. It's a given with this formatted show, and they pull it off really well. So yes, this one gets a yes from me.
All right, so that makes it on the list. Caleb, what would you have said?
This made my original top 10. I would have said no simply because I feel like there are other episodes that are left that should be on this list that are not yet. But it's still a really good episode for basically every reason you both have said.
All right, going back to Chance, we have 2 more slots left, and I hope you say the one I was going to say next.
We've been dancing around this one since the start. Let's talk about Weirdmageddon.
Yes.
The 3-part season finale.
3? I thought it was 4.
No, it's 3. Is it? That's Wiki has it listed as 3, so I'm going with 3.
Okay.
Either way.
Yeah, it is 3. I can confirm. I just watched it. It's 3 parts.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. Okay. But yeah, Weirdmageddon, all 3 parts. I mean, this is what the show's been building up to since the beginning. It's Bill Cipher finally taking over the world and just doing just like creating this like weird paradise.
Mabel world is so like Mabel.
Yeah. Part 1 where Bill takes over, you just see like the scope of this world. It's real, and they parody everything from like Mad Max to zombie movies to Inception. And just like the ending is so gratifying and so heartbreaking, and they bring all these stories to just such a nice little close. Like every character ends where you want them to be, and yeah, it's just such a great little ending. It's bittersweet, and I absolutely love it. I think it's a no-brainer for top 10.
All right, going on to me, it's a yes. Now they asked, are we doing it separately? I just put it as one whole because it is one finale. And I didn't want to have to like waste 3 spots. But yes, this series finale is incredible. I love the Mabel land in her head when she's like has like the court.
Literally everything you think Mabel would conceive is there.
Mabel has it. Bill Cipher is a great, intimidating villain for, as you said, a triangle with one eye. But the fact that he just like fucks up with everything, and you see the giant scope of what they were doing here, it's definitely a yes for me. Caleb, what would you have said?
Yeah, I'm definitely giving this one a yes. I think it's a fantastic finale. Really wrapped up the show really well. All our favorite characters come back. Like there are a couple like the Manitors and all that. I love just how they combine all the past characters. It's really great. And yeah, Bodacious T. Toby determined becoming Bodacious T. That's a really funny gag. Yeah, it's a fantastic ending. Gets a yes.
All right, Caleb, on to you. We have 9. Can you get the last one on the list?
Okay. I'm going to Gravity Falls' take on one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made, 1982's The Thing. I'm going with Into the Bunker. Into the Bunker. I think it's an episode that you kind of get the resolve of the tension between Dipper and Wendy and where that goes. I think that works really, really well. I think you get a little bit more of the mystery with the author going on, and you get some really fun gags with different stuff, and the monster kind of being a parody, maybe more of an homage to John Carpenter's The Thing, and how it can kind of transform into anybody really works. So yeah, it gets a definite yes from me.
All right, Chance, on to you.
This one's tough, but I think I'm gonna lean towards no. Much I do, I like this episode. I like the whole resolve between Dipper and Wendy. I think Mark Hamill does a really good job in this episode. But yeah, their episodes I think are more top notch than this one. So I'm gonna give it a no.
On to me. This is a really good episode. Yeah, I want to lean towards no. Dang. Sorry, I feel like there's at least a few more episodes that deal with a lot more story development. And for that, I'm leaning slightly towards no.
Yeah, this is why I said no to Boys Crazy. Or I should have said no to Boys Crazy. I don't know.
All right, we go back to Chance. No, it's me, right?
Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. I know this one's not going to make the list, but I'm going to put it up there anyway. I'm going Fight Fighters. And I think the development of Dipper wanting to go after Wendy, and then in comes her boyfriend, and then just how they build up that story, and then all of a sudden the Fight Fighters games come to life and just fucking destroy the city with a lot of great gags, like the half-eaten crunchy taco that he says, put it on the ground, puts it on the ground, picks it up, and then you have like the game scroll where it's like, okay, food, half-eaten crunchy taco. Or how he's like, all right, stand still. And he's just like doing this the entire time. This is as still as I can be. I just think there are a lot of great gags, especially with like the video game elements. I think just everything about this episode works really well as a fun, but also have a lot of story to it. So I'm putting Fight Fighters on there. Chance?
Go to Caleb first.
Caleb?
Hunter, you just told me that Into the Bunker couldn't be on because there are more episodes that like had like more weight and were more like advanced the story, and then you pick Fight Fighters. You pick the episode where video game characters come to life, and that's kind of it. Like it's a fine episode, but like no.
Chance?
I get to be the one to do this.
Chance, don't.
It's on, baby. Fight Fighters gets a yes from me.
Yes!
I think Fight Fighters.
This is why you lost to Paul.
Look, anybody, because I like Fight Fighters. Suck on that, Caleb. I think Fight Fighters is a good send up to like all of us have either played or seen someone play like a side-scrolling fighting game, and honestly, it feels like an episode made by someone who has respect for this game. The animation, the voice acting, the attention to detail, all of that is absolutely perfect. They nail all the mannerisms of fighting. They can't stay still. The way they pick up like energy things, their bizarre need to beat up cars. Like
that's a funny line where it's like,
also,
my car.
Yeah, it also does delve into a lot of Dipper psyche and like what it is a very centric one on him. Not one that, I mean, granted, had I had my way, there would have been at least one more spot, but yeah, I'm giving Fight Fighters the yes. It makes top 10.
Yeah, Fight Fighters makes the list.
You are both insane.
All right, so we have our top 10 list, and they are Not What He Seems, A Tale of Two Stands, Summerween, Boys Crazy, Seuss and the Real Girl, The Time Traveler's Pig, Dreamscapers, Northwest Mansion Mysteries, Weird Mageddon series, and Fight. All right, guys, so now we eliminate up to 3. So write down what you want to be off of the list.
We just write down one, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm just gonna say mine because I don't have a whiteboard.
All right, Chance, you go first.
I would say a time traveler's pig.
Caleb?
Fight fighters, please.
I went boys crazy.
So what do we do?
What do we do now?
Shit. Let's see. How will we do this?
You know
Does
what?
anyone want to change their picks?
I'm willing to put Hunter. I'm making a deal with you. You put fight fighters next. I'll eliminate boys crazy right now.
I don't know if I can do that.
Come on.
Don't do it.
Come on.
I like fight fighters more than boys crazy. Way more. Yeah, this won't be no, dog.
But you can get boys crazy off too, as well.
Get rid of time traveler's pig. Come on.
No, don't get rid of time traveler's pig. That's a much better episode. What are you, a witch? Come on, Hunter.
Come on. The I invoke Globnar episode is a better Blendin' episode.
Yeah, that should have been on over fight fighters. You could have put that one in too. There's no rule that there's only one Blandon.
Well, you took one spot, so I wanted to get some.
Well, yeah, and you filled it with fight fighters.
Okay, well, how about this? Second choice. Second choice to get knocked off the list.
How about this? All three of us, our 3 picks, they just all get knocked off. How about that?
Sure.
I'm fine with that.
Sure.
Next time, Hunter, think through the rules of your show before you go to live.
Yeah.
All right, so that's boys crazy is off. Time traveler's pig is off.
Because it's insane.
And you had fighters.
You shouldn't have to ask, Hunter.
That's fight fighters is way better than boys crazy.
So inconsequential.
All right. So after those 3 are out, we have left Not What He Seems, A Tale of Two Stands, Summerween, Seuss and the Real Girl, Dreamscapers, Northwest Mansion Mysteries, and Weird Mageddon. So now we are going to vote for what to be number 7.
All right, I got my pick.
Ooh, this is actually really hard. Yeah. All right, Caleb.
Summerween.
Chance.
I'm gonna say Seuss and the Real Girl.
God damn it! I have Dreamscapers. You know what? I'll get rid of Seuss and the Real Girl.
Dang.
So number 7 is Seuss and the Real Girl. All right, guys, vote for number 6.
Oh crap! Actually, you know what? Yeah.
All right, Chance.
Northwest Mansion Mystery.
Caleb.
Summerween.
All right, so I have to choose between Summerween and. You know what? I'll get rid of Summerween. I'll put Summerween at 6. All right, so Summerween is at 6. Number 5. All right, Caleb.
Northwest Mansion Mystery.
I have Dreamscapers. Chance.
I agree with Caleb. Northwest Mansion Mystery.
All right. Number 5 is Northwest Mansion Mysteries. I'm actually surprised it got that high, but I'm glad it did.
Well, I forgot it was on the list. So I would have put that at 7.
All right, number 4. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chance.
Dreamscapers.
I also have Dreamscaper.
They're tough.
Caleb?
No, you have to wait. You have to wait till next time.
Okay, so number 4 is Dreamscapers. All right, number 3. All right. Caleb?
Not what he seems.
I have the Weird Mageddon series. Chance?
I'd say Tale of Two Stands.
Ooh, okay. So I guess I'll pick between, what is it, Not What He Seems or A Tale of Two Stands.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. Get rid of A Tale of Two Stands.
Dang.
So number 3 is A Tale of Two Stands. And then we are voting for the number 1 spot. All right. Let's start with Chance.
Going Not What He Seems.
Caleb?
By default, Weird Mageddon.
And I have Not What He Seems is number 1. That means Weird
should have been number 1.
So the Weird Mageddon, I'm just going to call it series, is number 2. And number 1 is Not What He Seems. So yeah, we have a lot of great episodes to choose from, and I think we got a very solid list up. Fight Fighters included, Caleb.
No.
I said no. All right, so
No.
from 7 to 1, number 7 is Seuss and the Real Girl. Number 6 is Summerween. Number 5 is Northwest Mansion Mysteries. Number 4 is Dreamscapers. Number 3 is A Tale of Two Stands. Number 2 is Weird Mageddon series. And number 1 is Not What He Seems. What a great list, guys. All right. So that's pretty much it. This kind of went shorter than expected. But time for the close, or the closing plugs. Chance, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChanceWars_91. Check my own podcast, Notorious by Chance. I forgot for a second. We're going to be reviewing Wicker Man soon. That's going to be fun.
Not the bees!
Check out my personal YouTube channel, Chance the Critic. I'm trying to get back into that. And yeah, watch the Smowdown, join the Patreon, all that good stuff.
Yep. Little Boat, where can people find you?
Letterboxd, Caleb Boatman. That's the really and Multiplex Movie Warzone. I run that and stuff with the banes of my existence, Cody Newberry and Brian Michael. So yeah.
And if you guys enjoyed this list, hit that like button, subscribe to Film Nerd TV below. Also check out my other YouTube channel, Combat Wrestling Network, where we have combat wrestling trivia. And also check out my podcast I have with Russell Howell called the Horoscope Podcast. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.